Hello and welcome to The Fix, and today we're going to be looking at this Mazda 6 2.2 Sky Active engine diesel. It's got a problem with it that when you driving along about 70 miles an hour, the engine management light comes on with loads of fault codes, but the actual fault with it is to do with the turbocharger. This car's got a two-stage turbo in it, a low pressure and a high pressure side. And I think we've got the problem with the low pressure side where it's got the actuator somewhere down there. We're going to be looking at that in a little while. The actuator somewhere down there. Either the actuator is not working or the flap in it is come off, because I think that's a common problem I heard on these, that the actual flap is riveted on, that actually comes off and falls off in there. So we're going to have a look at that. The actual fault code we were getting was, it was this. Let me just try and do that. It says here P029926 turbocharger supercharger A under boost condition. So that's the fault memory that we were getting up on the dash. And also I've noticed that when we're driving at normal, like without going on the motorway or doing high speeds, it's got no boost until you rev it up to 3000 revs. So I think that's all to do with the same problem with the low pressure side of the turbo with that flap. So let's go and undo it and have a look what could be wrong with it. Right, I'm going to take off this hose, undo that. And do it a bit more. Do this one a little bit more. Okay, got that one off. At the same time I'll pull this cover off. Okay, I think you have to take this one off as well. So that one's same again, 10mm clamp. If I undo it there, and it's also got a nut down here. So yep, it's got 10mm in here. So catch that bolt before it falls. Okay. Right, that's off, out the way. I think, yes, if you look down here, that's the actuator, that's the vacuum pipe on it, and I think the flap is actually in there, in that bit down there. So let me try and take that off now. I'm going to start off by taking off this bracket because that's in the way. Got 13mm bolt nuts on me here. All right, another one here. Okay, and I think this one here in the front. I've undone them. It seems to have other bolts behind there. I don't know how I'm going to get to them, but I think the other thing to do is to take the battery off maybe, and the battery tray. So I'll start off by taking off the battery. Take off the negative first. I've looked, there is no battery procedure, so I could just take it off like this. So, the positive. Okay, I'm going to take this battery clamp off. Right, that's out the way. I'll just pull the battery out. Okay, I think to get more room, I'm going to take the battery tray off. The 13mm. Alright, now I'm going to take this off. I bought a bigger socket because, hang on a minute, there must be, oh, it's not 13, it's 12mm. Okay, so I'm going to undo these. Okay, that's out. There. Yeah, the actual airbox is, you can see these here, the airbox is actually attached to it. So I'll pull that off. There's our battery tray out. Okay, I'm going to undo these two bolts now. They're 12mm nuts. If I undo them, see it there. That one's undone. You can see that. Now this one, which is under here. That tight. Okay, that's the other nut. Now we've undone that. Since I did undo it from the bracket there, so it should come off. Yep, that's off. Okay, and now I could get to the right now I'm gonna just undo this with the 10mm spanner. When it was in there was no way of undoing them, so let's just get this out the way. Okay, that's out the way now. A lot of oil in there. Right, just as we suspected, the little flap in there, see the flap there, that's come off. That flap goes onto there. See where you see that hole? So that flap is bolted onto the, or riveted onto there, which is all broken off now. So what I'm going to try and do is get this out, and then I'm going to try and put it on there without taking the whole turbo off, because taking the turbo off looks like a massive job and it's not easy to get to. So I'm going to try and repair it in situ if I can. Right, I'm going to try and take this out now. I don't think it's going to fit through there, so let me try and put it in where it goes and see if we could actually I think it goes behind that bar. Okay, what I've done from out here where my hand is, I've got the lever and I've pulled this thing forward and I slid that behind there, as you can see, and this is the position of it. This is where it goes. So if I just centralize it a bit, now I've got to try and fix that on there, something through the middle of it. So let's see what I could do with that. Okay, what I've done, I've got one of these self-tapping, like self-drilling screws. I put it on the socket like that, and you know I had that in position and I couldn't show you it on video because I can't really get the camera in there. So what I done, I managed to turn this on a little bit of the way, and then after that I used my screwdriver and I pushed it all the way in, so it took a grip off that flap. And now if you look in there, you could see the screw is through the flap. Yeah, you can see that screw sticking out from underneath. What I've done, the lever on the side that I was showing you that I could move the flap with there, I've stuck a screwdriver in it in that position. If you see the screwdriver, see I've stuck this screwdriver, I've stuck it in the bottom of that, and I've wedged it up, so this is in this position now. You can see the flap, so we could see that bolt coming through. Now I've connected up my Mitivac to it, so I was going to do that later on just to see if the actuator is working, but it is working. But I'm going to use this to hold that out. Alright, now all them bolts that I've just tried to put in didn't work, so what I've done, I've got this bolt. If you remember in the old Mercedes, they had the undercover. They used to have these bolts and that clip onto the car, so you used to screw that in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut off the back of that clip, all that bit, so it looks like just that bit left, the screw bit left on it. And then I'm going to, with my Mitivac, I'm going to pump it up like that. You see, if I pump the Mitivac, right, there's one of the bolts I've already put in there now, like the one I've just shown you, the Mercedes bottom cover bolt with the thread. And on the other side of it, I'll show you in a minute. On the other side, look, I'm just pumping that with the Mitivac. And on the other side, can't think you can see it properly, but I've put one of them clips on, and I turned that clip by hand a few times, and then I let the Mitivac go like that, so it's closed, and then I put a little spanner in there, and not a spanner, sorry, a socket in there, and I tightened it up. So now that's done. And if you enjoyed the video and you haven't already done, that is subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you could get all the future videos of the fix. And remember, don't jinx it, fix it.